My name is Roland Garcia, and this is my small group communication and leadership project. For my vision, it was to get some family and friends and to create a group on trying to become more fit and healthier. So I kind of came up with this idea because recently I've been getting more into like fitness and all that stuff and on how to be healthier. So I thought of this and wanted to get some friends that I've also been talking with and my little brother. So the people that I used for this project were two of my friends from high school and my younger brother that is 13 years old and my girlfriend. Um, so when I first told them about it, I told them like how I wanted to start making FaceTime calls or like weekly calls and like kind of have an agenda of what we want to do throughout the week on like either going to the gym, doing some type of yoga or exercise, going out for a jog or a run. And it just doesn't have to be those things. It could also be like playing some sports. And for most of us, we were like didn't really agree on the sport, but we all picked up something new, and that was pickleball. So we all went to the store and bought some rackets and the wiffle balls, and we started using that. And then I told them it if our schedule doesn't work, we don't always have to do this together. As long as we like push ourselves and like stay disciplined and go to the same, I mean, still do our routine and try to be fit and exercise, then we'll still get a positive outcome with everything. And I also told him the most important thing of all of this was to have fun while doing it. Before we get started, here's an introduction of a little bit about myself. This is my first year of college. I recently graduated last year, so I'm a freshman in college. And ever since I was little, I've always loved outdoors. I always liked being outside, getting dirty, playing with dirt, and all that nonsense. And recently, maybe, I mean, for a couple of years now, since like sophomore year of high school, I like to work out, but I never really knew what I was doing, or I would never really be consistent or take it seriously until up in this year, like mid January is when I really like started doing my research and stuff like that, and how to like the proper workouts or things on how to be healthier and more fit and like the things to eat. And then I also try to be the best version of myself, always push myself to what I can be. And something that stood out for me from the text from Norhaus was leaders and followers must be understood in relation to each other. To me, this quote, what it really meant was on how just because you're the leader, you should always like have a relationship or understand your followers. Your followers also have a voice in anything they do or say because they matter to you. And that's why I picked this quote from Norhaus. Um, to have the ways to have success in this project, first I put be involved. I feel like if you fall behind or if you're not involved, then you're not really enjoying the journey of this of the project we're having on being healthy and being fit. So always be involved, and if even if you have any questions or like of anything, just you could tell me or ask anyone. And then for the second, I put just follow the plan. So as I said in the beginning, we'd have like weekly calls or kind of like meetings. If it would be in person, it'd be better. But it was mostly like just FaceTime calls, and we'd all like kind of say what we have planned, like what we were doing during the week, and like when can we all meet up, and like when were we free. And there were some days, like 2 days of the week, where we could all meet up and like do things, and then the other days it was kind of really on our own since our schedules wouldn't align. So for those 2 days, most of the time we would like start off by like stretching and doing some sort of like yoga, and then after we'd play some pickleball, and we'd kind of have like little tournaments, and like since pickleball is like for two people like on each team, we'd have like a person on two people and go against others. And then for the third, I put push yourself and not others. I mean, push yourself and others. So I know sometimes there could be times where like you don't feel like doing it, or you don't have the motivation to just keep on going. Like you want a day off, or you could even see others just where they don't have the enough energy to keep on going. So I believe when you push each other, or push yourself, or when you push someone else, you motivate someone. It goes a long way because when someone motivates me or pushes me to do better, it shows me a lot that they like kind of care for me and want me to do better for myself. So that just motivates me more to do more. And for the fourth one, it's pretty basic, but I think it means a lot, and it is to not give up. No matter what happens or anything, it's just best to stay disciplined and just keep on going even when you don't want to. And how I said, the discipline that led to my um fifth bullet point about this. And then for the last, always think of your why. Like, why, why are you doing this, or what made you start doing this, or who are you doing it for? Because sometimes it could be for yourself, but other times it could be for other people too. And yeah, when I think of my why, it always just motivated me to do better, push myself a little bit more. And when I told the people in my group, like, always think of your why, they said I also helped them a lot. The main goals for this project was to have a better relationship with everyone in the group at the end of the project. So since I started off with a couple of my friends from high school, and then my little brother and my girlfriend, some of them did have an alright relationship, but towards the end after the project, or as we would do the exercises and stuff like that, everyone would have a by the end everyone had a better relationship and they were more comfortable with each other. And for the second one, it was to feel more confident about ourselves. I feel like if you feel more confident about yourself, it is like you just have more confidence to do anything and try new things and things like that. And for my last one, it was gain more leadership experience. Even though I was the one to come up with this idea and kind of set things up, I told them like almost like if you see, as I said, if you see someone struggling, help them. And to me, that's almost like a way of being a leader. And the roles in the project that they really kind of had to play was prepare for activities a week prior. So we could almost like an agenda to know what we are doing and things like that. And as we were doing the things, it helped a lot because we weren't like, oh, didn't know what to do, or like, we, as the day would happen, we knew our plan and things like that. And for this leads on to my next one. It was to be on time to all activities. So say those days that we all could meet up and play pickleball and stuff like that, we would schedule a time that works best for all of us, and we would all try our best to be there on time, so we wouldn't have to wait for anyone. And then this last one that I really think is very important, well, I told them to track their progress. So that could be like for example in the gym, how much can you lift, how much weight can you lift, or if you're trying to lose weight, how much do you weigh, and things like that. I feel like when you track your progress and as throughout the journey you see that you're making progress, as it just motivates you more and more to keep on going. And the outcome of this project was, as I seen on the outcome on everyone, it really kind of depended on like what their goal was specifically for themselves. And as we all like um recorded our progress, or like seen our progress, I believe that all of us had made an insane amount of progress on each other. Not just like physically, but mentally. I seen people having a better mental state of mind. For example, like waking up more early to like work out and stuff like that instead of like waking up late. I seen people doing that, and people just having being more happy with themselves and being more confident in themselves. And that is really our project, and I really liked how it turned out. And I told my friends and people in the project or in the group, as like we won't be doing this anymore, but I encourage them to keep on going on their own, to keep on finding that motivation. If they ever want to do this again, or like since we're all comfortable with each other, we could always just do an activity with each other, or like text one another, call one another to go work out and things like that. But that being said, that is the end of my group project, and I would say it was pretty successful. And I want to thank all of you guys for taking your time out of your day to watch this project. Thank you.